Hi everyone, it's Nana again. I'm here with the Big Brother Season 2 Episode 4 and it's Elimination Night. So Julie is back again and she's telling us that anything can happen. It's Elimination Night, nobody should feel safe. So she goes into the house to talk with the housemates and she calls them in. And they notice that the mooch is not there. They're like, oh, well, let's keep it going. And then they're like, oh, well, guess what? A housemate really wasn't a housemate, but was visiting, and they're like, what? And then they find out that the mooch, there's a big announcement. The mooch actually wasn't really a house guest. He was just there to facilitate a lot of stuff and talk a lot of stuff and, kind of make the house lively and fun. So he goes, hi guys, he's on TV, he's now on the screen, and they're like, what is going on? So they're all really in shock and really surprised. And he says, well, because I was on the block, because there were three of them that were on the block, himself, Tom, and Jonathan were on the block to be chopped off. He says, well, since I'm now out, there's going to be another veto competition, and whoever wins now gets the veto power. So two veto competitions in 1 week. So everybody's like, oh no. And it's all about his favorite thing, himself, the mooch himself. I really think he's such a cool guy, to just be able to get into the house and do this. I thought it was cool. So going on, the mooch says they have to do this competition and it's going to be the 4 people and they're going to pick 2 others. So the head of house, Ryan, is going to also be part of them. And then they pick Keto and Dina. So they go in and then they have this whole newspaper, billboards and stuff of different press releases. And then they're like, oh, so they have to figure out what statements he made. And I remember him saying a few things and I was thinking, but we thought he was being funny, really, So there were quite a number of them. They were able to pick out 8 of them. And some people picked out 5, but they were not sure. They were stuck and they were like, oh my gosh. Before this though, we see that Ryan has to pick one other person to be on the chopping block and he picks Candy. And Candy's like, what? How did I get here? And Ryan's like, it's no hard feelings, just that we really haven't bonded, we really haven't talked and all of that. And Candy's like, oh man, really? So she's not happy about it, and he tries to hug her afterwards, and she's like, no, don't try and bond with me now, which I thought was kind of petty, it's just a game. So anyways, the mooch say, they're like, oh, how long was he in the White House for? And I remember that, because he was there for approximately 10 days, and when you calculate all of that, it comes about 954,000 seconds in the White House. So anyway, Keto wins it because he can figure out 8 things and he takes his time, which was cool, and he figures it out. Jonathan was really close, but he missed one. He thought there were 9, so Jonathan was really close. So Jonathan is still on the chopping block. So Keto is going to use his veto and he's like, who do I save? So obviously he says he wants to save Tom. Tom's his friend and they have an alliance, Initially there were 3 of them, himself, Tom, Keto, Tom, and the mooch were all like together in an alliance. But anyways, so he saves Tom and takes Tom out. So Ryan now has to put somebody else in. And Ryan is like, oh my. And which is what I always tell people. There is never any hurry to really win the head of house. It causes more problems than anything. Because now you have to put people up. And people will remember that you put them up. So now he's putting Joey. And Joey's like, okay, I get it. It's just a game. But you're my friend. So initially, we see Ryan talking to Lolo. Initially, he was thinking of putting Lolo up, but he was like, to be funny. Ugh. So he goes to talk to Lolo just before they go in, for the veto selection. And he tells her, what's going on? Are we cool? What's up? And she's like, no, I'm not happy. I'm not cool with you because you guys have thrown me under the bus and I heard from a reliable source that you were planning on taking me out. So Ryan's like, screech halt. How the hell did she know? Oh my god. So he tries to dig his way out of that pitfall that he dug for himself. Because he just, I don't know. But it was kind of fun, So she's like, okay, it is what it is. So he doesn't put her on the chopping block and he puts Joey instead. And so we now have Candy, Joey, and Tom. No, Tom is out. So we have Candy, Joey, and Jonathan are still on the chopping block. So we're going to see. So they now have to go in and vote. And the guys gather together Tom and Keto gather together and they're like, oh, who should we put? What do we do? What do we do? You know, and they're like, oh, let's take out Candy. Candy doesn't seem like, you know, she's any... No, let's leave Candy in and take out one of the guys that are stronger because they are strong competitors, and they're like, oh, it sounds like a good idea. And then in walks Lolo, and they're trying to tell Lolo, oh, we were thinking of taking out one of the guys. And Lolo, no, we're thinking of taking out Candy. And Lolo's like, no. And Lolo's like, no, don't take out the guys, take out Candy. Yeah, so Lolo wants them to take out Candy, and the guys are like, why? She's not very competitive, she's kind of cool, and they're like, and Lolo's like, no, ever since Candy has been in the house, she and Tamar every night are at it. I really haven't watched every day of it, you know, I don't, who has that kind of time, but I try to catch up whenever I can, and I thought things were better with Candy and Tamar. So apparently maybe in the night they are actually having tete-a-tete and they're going back and forth, and it's coming through. So the ladies are feeling, oh, it's just so much tension between them, and if we take Candy out now, we can make the house a little more comfortable. And that's kind of sad that, you know, you have these two friends, black women, that have come on this show and they can't keep it together just for the 2-3 weeks that they're together. Come on, guys, you know, that is showing through. And of course you also have Natalie coming and say, yeah, Candy and Tamar have been going back and forth and it's been a whole issue, you know. So anyway, they go into voting and they decide who they're all going to vote for. Surprise, surprise, only Dina actually puts Candy up for the chop. All the other guys select Jonathan. And I thought that was the best. I thought that was a good, you know, good thing to do, because Jonathan was a strong contender, you know, because he was really playing games and all of that. So they all make a speech and eventually Jonathan gets let go of, and he's like surprised and he's in shock and he's like, what? He was playing the game, he had alliances, he was talking with everybody. I think sometimes you play that game, but when you overplay your hand, it becomes too much and people are like, okay, you're not really being honest with us, you know, especially when we had agreed that you were going to let go of Dina and you swapped that and you made Ryan change that and you did not get back to them. So we see Jonathan talking with Julie, and Julie's like, what do you think went wrong? And he's like, oh, I think I was just, you know, I went straight for an alliance with the strong Olympian, and she's like, nope, the issue was you picked Dina when originally you picked Dina to be left off, you know, and you chose, you know, to swap the vote that we had agreed on, you know, like during an alliance. So he was like, oh, really? You know, so I don't think he even actually understood where, you know, he had actually hurt the other ladies. So tomorrow night we're going to see what's going to happen again. They're going to also run for the head of house, and we'll keep watching. We'll be watching. It's been entertaining so far. So let me know what you guys think. Did you think Jonathan was going to go, or did you think Candy should have gone? Surprisingly, Joey didn't even get any votes to be voted out. That means that he's kind of popular in the house, so that's kind of cool for him. Alright guys, thank you. Be sure to like, be sure to share, be sure to subscribe and comment down below. Thanks.